is going on, everybody? It is me, Ice Cube Network 873, and today I am going to be teaching you guys how to play the Ocean Man solo. So just a disclaimer, I have acoustic strings on my guitar for some reason, so I won't be doing the bends that well, and I'll also be playing it quite differently. Alright, so the first thing you have to do is, if you're playing an electric guitar with electric strings, which you probably are, you're going to have to put your first finger on the ninth fret of the B string, and you take your index here and you place it on the 11th fret of the G, and then you bend up. I can't really bend because I have my G string is wound, so I'm just gonna do a slide. So if you're playing an electric guitar with electric strings, you have to bend up, and your note's supposed to sound like this. So once you get that bending down, I can't really bend up, of course, because I have acoustic strings. So you have to make your G string bend sound like this note. So it has to match. Then after that, you have to do that, I think 3 times. And then after that, those are all gonna be bends. I'm doing slides because I have acoustic strings. What you're gonna do next is you're gonna go. So that's index pulled off from the 11th fret of the G to the 9th fret of the G, and then you take your index, you place it on the 11th fret of the D, and then you take your first finger and place it on the 9th fret. The 9th fret of the G. So you got this. And then next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick the 11th fret of the G, and then after that, you place your first finger on the 9th fret of the D. So you got this. So with all that, it should sound like this. You can add a little bit vibrato there, it sounds better. And then next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick it, I think, a couple of times. Then back to the 9th fret. And then you're gonna slide from the 11th fret of the G to the 13th fret of the G. So you got this. And then you just slide back. So you got this now. And then now next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your index, you're gonna bar it between the A string and the D string. You're gonna slide the B string to the 11th fret of the A. You're gonna slide the A string from the 9th fret of the A to the 11th fret. So you got this. Then once you get here, you're gonna pick the 11th fret of the D. So you got this. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your first finger, and then you're gonna hammer on and pull off really fast. You got this. You're gonna do this. So you got this. So combine all those, it should sound like this. Now the next section sounds like this. So it's pretty much the same, so you just add the... So what you're really doing is you're alternating between the 13th fret of the G and the 12th fret of the B. And then you're gonna do that same thing you did from the first part. So you got pull off from the 11th fret to the 9th, then to the 11th fret of the D, back to the 9th fret of the G, then pick the And then you place your finger back on the 11th fret of the G. So you got this. Then ninth fret of the D. 9th fret of the D. Wait. So once you get to the 9th fret of the D, wait a minute. Then you gotta pick it a couple of times again. And then you do the slide again. And then back to the 9th. Now this part is quite different. You still do the same slide. You bar your index between the A and the D. You slide it to the 13th. So once you slide it, that's, you alternate between the 9th and the 11th of the D and the G. Then you do that. Then you do it again. You basically do those 2 times. You do this 2 times. The next, what you gotta do is, if you have to like bend it up. I can't really bend up. I have acoustic strings, so I'm just gonna slide. So once you bend it up, you have to do like a full step, half, something like that. So I bend from this note, and then when you bend, your note's supposed to sound like this. No, you bend something like that. So when you bend up, your note's supposed to sound like this, and then you bend up a little higher, so it'll become this note. Then you go back to this note. Then you go back to this note. So I can't really explain it right now that good because I have acoustic strings on. So you have to just you bend up, and then your note's supposed to sound like, when you bend, your note's supposed to sound like this. You bend it a little harder so that it will sound like this note. Then you go back to this note. Then you release the bend, and then pick the 9th fret of the G. So if you got all that, your solo should sound like this. And that's pretty much the Ocean Man solo.